Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming out to Why Worry Farm. I am Lisa Barge, for those of you who don't know me, and I manage the agricultural program through the Anne Arundel Economic Development Corporation. Again, I want to welcome you and to be here today at Why Worry Farm as the county executive announces the new agritourism laws that will become effective in just a couple days here in Anne Arundel County. I'd also like to take a moment and thank our county executive for his support of the agricultural program at AADC and for his commitment to the agricultural businesses in Anne Arundel County. Through his leadership, the administration established the Agricultural Work Study Group, which was tasked with defining agriculture, agritourism, and the allowable uses in the various zoning districts in our county. It is through those efforts that we are here today. And as I look out among me, I just want to take a moment to thank everybody here, because just about everybody here played a significant role and put a tremendous amount of time and effort into the process. So I'd like to thank first the county administration and for their expertise. They put a lot of time and effort into our meetings. And I'd also like to thank the Agritourism Work Study Group for their time and efforts, Anne Arundel County Farm Bureau for keeping us apprised of what the agricultural community was looking for, and a number of the community organizations in Anne Arundel County that provided some valuable feedback for us. And now I have the pleasure of introducing someone who has been committed to improving the business climate in the county and has strived to make Anne Arundel County the best place to live, work, and start a business. So County Executive Steve Schuh understands the importance of government and business collaboration to grow the economy and create jobs. So it is my pleasure to introduce Anne Arundel County Executive Steve Schuh.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out on this beautiful day for this exciting announcement. And Lisa, thank you for those nice remarks. I want to thank Mark and Betsy for hosting us here at Why Worry Farms. Why Worry Farm. That's what I say to myself every morning when I get out of bed. I say, why worry? What's the point? And I also want to acknowledge Anna Cheney, who is chair of our Agritourism Advisory Work Group, and the Farm Bureau, and other members of the work group who are present here this afternoon, as well as so many members of our farming community that have joined us today. Here in Anne Arundel County and in Maryland as a whole, agritourism is a growing industry. Agritourism includes corn mazes, hay rides, pumpkin patches, and so many other ideas yet to be imagined. The sky's the limit. Farms that used to be sitting idle or that were only partially used now have another avenue to build a business, especially this time of year as the leaves turn, it gets a little chilly, and Halloween is approaching. But for far too long, farms like Why Worry were subject to outdated, inapplicable regulations and a burdensome tax structure that did not fit their business models. Over the last 18 months, working with our Agritourism Advisory Work Group, the Farm Bureau, and other stakeholders across the county, we sought to make our county more hospitable to businesses like these here at Why Worry. Those efforts culminated with the passage of legislation this fall to recognize and, most importantly, to support our burgeoning agritourism industry. We eliminated the unnecessary amusement tax charged to these farms and reformed the zoning code to allow these businesses to grow and flourish. This weekend, for the first time, pleased to announce the collection of the amusement tax to these businesses will be suspended. Is that a good thing? And our inspectors from planning and zoning will no longer be applying regulations that do not make sense for this emerging industry. We want our farmers to be free to find the best way to operate their farms. Now our county has a regulatory system that supports and does not limit these exciting new businesses. So thank you again for being here today, and I'll turn it back over to Lisa.
Hey, me again. So now I want to bring up Anna Cheney. As County Executive mentioned, Anna is the chair of the Agritourism Work Study Group, and she is also the owner of Harrington on the Bay Catering. Harrington on the Bay has focused their efforts on farm-to-table meals, sourcing their ingredients from local farms, and now is the owner of Honey's Harvest Farm in Lothian. She also grows some of those ingredients on her own farm. Anna?
Thank you, Lisa. Special thank you to Lisa Barge for all of her guidance through this process. So it's been my pleasure to serve as the chair of the Agritourism Work Study Group. It all started back in February of 2016 when our county executive hosted a meeting down in the southern part of our county, at which the Southern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce was there, several residents and small business owners in the area. And as it turned out, the conversation kind of went to the idea that many of the residents here, including the Southern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce, had been a little distraught about some of the development and the convenience stores on every corner, as it was stated that day, and they were really looking for more businesses that would be viable on farmland. And they mentioned specifically places like Green Street Gardens, Green Street Growers. And timing was perfect because our governor, Larry Hogan, had just put out a recommendation that every county take the time to define agritourism in an effort to make it very clear to our agencies at the county level and also the farmers and landowners as to what they were able to do on their farms. So over a period since February of 2016 and the bill passed in September of 2017, 17 members of the formal work study group met about twice a month and studied agritourism throughout the state and other counties adjacent to our county to make sure we could come up with something, and in a very collaborative effort with all of our agencies. Every single agency came to various meetings that were held in addition to Farm Bureau, our tourism board. We had, we had a good number of people that actually attended at their own will, including folks from the health department, the fire chief, planning and zoning, inspections and permits, in addition to farmers from various types of farming in our county, and chefs who serve farm-to-table foods. So I think that overall it was a very intensive study and came out with a very comprehensive bill that will allow the SIBLs to do what they do so well and provide clarity for our agencies insofar as what that means and what they can do. I was asked to explain why was I so passionate about this, and very, very briefly, growing up on 2 different farms in southern Anne Arundel County, I was part of a vegetable farming operation, sold vegetables on the side of the road, and I worked at a horse farm. And I think, just as the SIBLs mentioned, what that allowed me to do was realize that it's very, very important that our county preserves our ag lands. And so that passion was able to, be expressed as the chairperson of this work study group in allowing us to come up with this bill that then allows experiential opportunities for many of our citizens, residents, our visitors, people who will then gain an appreciation for the farmland, which then inspires people to want to preserve this natural resource that I think is very vital to our county and our county's future. So not only does agritourism provide that viable diversification for our farmers and our landowners, it provides the experiential engagement and opportunities for our residents, our visitors, and creates those childhood memories that Mrs. Seibel was just speaking of. I think that by instilling that respect and that desire to preserve, not only will it then inspire people to work on farms. So as the county executive has stated, one of his main roles is to create new opportunities economically. And for us to be able to, 1, educate our children, and 2, provide new jobs, will then allow us to offer more and more opportunities to keep our farms and farming. Also, I think there's a huge demand right now for local products and this experiential opportunity, which is also now validated by our new bill. So I just wanted to thank our county executive, Lisa Barge, all of the agencies, all of my co-work study group participants, many of whom are standing right behind us right now, for their dedication to creating this agritourism opportunity. And additionally, I do want to mention that there's a gentleman here named Stuart Pittman who became very involved after the formal process of the work study group. And without his input, I think the bill wouldn't been have nearly as good as it is today. So I just want to extend a very special appreciation to everybody and definitely our county executive, all the agencies, University of Maryland Cooperative Extension, and I think we're on a good start to preserving our farmlands here in Anne Arundel County. Thank you all very much.
Okay, so I have been fortunate to be able to work with many of the farm families in Anne Arundel County and truly come to know and love many of them. I got to know Mark and Betsy Seibel and their family 7 years ago when they opened the farm to us to bring Agricultural Education Day out here to their farm. They're a wonderful, hardworking family, and I think they can explain what they do here much better than I can. So I'd like to bring up Mark and Betsy and Mark Jr. Thank you.
Back when we first started the UPIC pumpkin patch, I don't think the term agritourism had been even coined, and mazes weren't a big deal. It was just a way for us to market directly to the public, and many people came here. They had memories of growing up on family farms, or grandparents who had family farms, and they wanted to share that connection with their children. As Anne Arundel County has become more developed, there are less and less people who have that connection. And so agritourism fulfills an even more important role now than it did back then. At Waiwari Farm, we've always tried to keep our customers' experience grounded in a real farm experience. Harvesting pumpkins from the field, children can see the vines, flowers, immature pumpkins growing. It's like the whole life cycle of the pumpkin. You even see the rotten ones out there. And they learn that pumpkins come from farms and not from stores. As farm children, Mark and I had a lot of experiences like being able to wander in a cornfield or whatever, and our corn maze kind of gives our customers a little taste of that experience. And we loved climbing the hayloft, at least until we get into trouble for breaking the bales. And we have a straw pyramid to give children that experience. And children on the farm can use their imaginations and run and play, and all children should have that opportunity. And our cornstalk teepee is like my version of the many forts we built as children, and they can use their imagination in that too. We found over the years that what started as a way for us to make a little extra income has become a tradition for many families in the area. We have customers' children who are now bringing their children, and over the years we've learned just how much our customers appreciate the opportunity to come to the farm. So agritourism is a way for farmers to supplement their income by marketing directly to the public, but more than that, it's a way for the public to connect directly to the farms. Thanks to everyone involved with this bill for defining just what agritourism means and for supporting farms and farmers. Thank you.
Okay, well, this concludes our event for the day. I just want to thank everybody for taking the time from your busy schedules to come out and join us. Thank you.